down everywhere. I went to the Naniwa train station on Tuesday morning. There were 15 cars there. When I was there the week before, it only was 7. So ridership is up, but not enough. But they definitely went back to the New Jersey Transit went back to the regular schedules. I can give you the exact date in a couple of minutes. My computer got 2 minutes left.
Didn't Kathy Rinaldi also say that then maybe the east of Hudson lines were on a reduced schedule?
Yeah, they still are, but
Yeah.
their reduced schedule is a lot more than. They're actually, she says, they're operating 65% of the normal schedule, of the regular schedule. They're up to 65% now, and those have been in effect since July the 13th. And I think west of Hudson from New Jersey Transit went back to regular schedules on the 6th of this month.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah. Yeah, so it is the regular service. Oh, who do we have now? Oh, we have Oren. Okay. Oren, unmute yourself. Oren, unmute you. Say it is Oren. Okay. Hi, Oren.
Okay, I'm unmuted. I'm sorry I couldn't get on before, but I was in the shower.
Okay, that's fine. Glad to see you. So did we get Francis? No, we still don't have Francis. Okay, so 1, 2. So we have 3 of 5.
We have a quorum.
You have a quorum. Okay. All right. So I guess we can start. All right. Good morning, my fellow community council members. Thank you for taking time out of your busy days. And so we'll get an approval of the agenda for today. I'll move it. Get a second, please.
Second.
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. All right, approval of the May 21st meeting minutes, which were distributed. I'll move it. Will I get a second?
Second, Rick.
All right. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Thank you. All right. So let me see if I can find my chairs. I had it saved on my desktop, but less than a minute remaining. All right, so let me just start. I had a couple of extra things I wanted to add, so I'll do the extra things. As I mentioned at yesterday's board meeting, which again was virtual, Kathy Rinaldi reported that we were operating, at the east of Hudson was operating 65% of their regular schedules, and ridership was picking up. I think they were about 15% of what they had last year. I could be wrong.
Yeah, I think that's what the newspaper reported.
Okay, so that's still way down. The PTC is up to, oh, here we go. There's that. There's that. Okay. All right, so the chair's report. So, all right, so I'll go to we're now in phase 4 in New York City. Service was increased on Metro North on May 27th, June the 9th, June 10th, June 14th, and June 23rd. I spoke at the New Jersey Transit Board meeting for June again, and remotely, and complained about the PTC. Meanwhile, on our side, the Metro North, rather, on the east of Hudson, they have now 220 miles of their territory, which is 90% operating under full PTC. The remaining sections are from Greenwich to Bridgeport, which they expect to get done in August, and down to New Rochelle in October. So that's it. That if it all works, it'll be in advance of the December 31st deadline. Yeah, hi, Francis. Hi. Yeah. All right. What is he calling into, Lisa, the 646 number? It's on, can you access your email that was sent to you with the meeting? It's because you can just tap on that. No, we have to use the latest numbers. Lisa, is the phone number the 646-558 number to call in?
Yeah, that's the number I used, Randy.
Okay, all right, so you use the 646-558-8656. Okay. Does he have to do anything, or that's all he does?
And put in the code.
Oh, Lisa, you're muted. You're
Sorry
muted.
about
All right.
that. Yep, the meeting ID is 506
Oh, you have to also put in 506
624.
9438 pound.
Correct. That worked for me.
Can you hear me now? No, 624. No, 506-624-9438 pound. All right, thanks. All right, he says he'll be right there. Anyway, so they should get it all done by October, end of October. So with that really would be wonderful for Metro North. PTC working group this month again. We're meeting monthly now, and so this is the latest update. This update's what we were provided before that. So that pretty much covers that. Just as a not fun fact, the chairman yesterday at the board meeting said it costs roughly $300 million a week to maintain the subway system, the cleaning and all the other stuff. And so the billions of dollars they're hoping to get from the CARES Act, the HEROES Act rather. But I just was listening to something before that the Republicans have now proposed their own CARES 2, which it's unclear whether or not they're going to address all of the questions that we had. Okay, so. So that's pretty much my chair's report and the board report.
Randy, would you like me to give a brief update on the work that we're doing to support the HEROES
Sure.
Act?
Absolutely.
Great.
Good idea.
So we've been very focused, I would say laser focused, but that's an overused term these days, on supporting efforts to get funding for the MTA through passage of the HEROES Act or something similar. The MTA has said that they need $3.9 billion through the end of this year to basically that there's a fiscal tsunami that's facing the agency, $3.9 billion through the end of this year, and a total of $10.3 billion through the end of 2021. The agency is supporting the request that was made by a large number of transit agencies requesting, Ellen, what it is, at 24 to 26 billion dollars for transit systems nationally. So we've been working with advocates locally and nationally to support those efforts, including reaching out to elected officials. We had raised last time putting together an op-ed for the Journal News, and I'm pleased to say that that is actually in the works. We had a big pile of activity in our office, so that is now in the works, and we hope to have something for you in the next week.
Okay.
We believe that with the increase in cases in a number of the states, that there will be, including in Kentucky, where we don't wish anybody to be sick, but it's important that Senator McConnell move this funding act or some kind of stimulus package. And it looks as though, I think the word is, it's being socialized and for discussion. And there's several sticking points on the overall act, which I'm sure you've seen or heard about in the media about who wants what in and who doesn't. It appears that we may need to brace for a little less funding, but still 3.9 billion through the end of this year would be
Phenomenal.
go a long way to making the system as whole as possible. we're participating in something called the Digital Day of Action today. It's not our first one, it's our second one. And Bradley and Sheila are teaming up and tweeting and put together infographics and a series of tweets to go out. I'm doing a mask distribution in the subways today that's being sponsored by Transit. So, you know, we'll be out there. I don't know if any of you have ridden the system yet, but it looks great. I haven't ridden Metro North yet. That's next on my list. I've been taking Long Island Railroad and riding on the subways. But the reports I've gotten are that they're clean and so one of my
all reports are that it's an Andrew Albert has been riding the subway frequently, and I have another friend who lives on the Upper West Side also reports it. He's amazing. I would love to do it for age and health. I can't.
No, it's, you know, you have to do what's right for you and to protect yourself. Absolutely. An associate of mine who lives in New Jersey got an email from Kevin Corbett asking her to return to the riding the rails. Yeah. And I said, well, it's because he wants your money.
Does he even know?
So that's I don't know if Kathy did that. Did Kathy Rinaldi send something out?
I don't remember. No. There was no alert about that. No.
All right, I'm going to ask my this person to send me what they got from Kevin Corbett. I don't know if anybody else got that, but that would be an interesting thing. We had gotten an email from a citizen, from a Metro North rider, who was very concerned about mask compliance and wanted announcements made regularly on Metro North trains. And so we reached out to the railroad, and they came back and said, okay. So they said that they would increase the frequency of the announcements about the need to wear masks, and that they would make masks available to anybody who didn't have one. And Long Island Railroad is doing something similar.
Mm-hmm. All right, Rich, I just went on the website, my computer back working again after rebooted. Port Jervis and Pascack Valley resumed normal service on July the 6th.
Correct.
So that.
Okay, thanks.
And Kevin Corbett, Randy, put out a thing. Did you see it? It's called Your Ride to Recovery.
I started watching it and then I lost the thing.
Okay. That was Metro North, Oren?
No, New Jersey Transit.
Nope.
New Jersey Transit. Okay.
Do you have a copy of it?
It's okay. I can do without it. I really can. All right. So Francis, I wanted to thank you for joining us. I see you're muted. Do you have anything you want to add to what we've talked about so far? I guess not. Okay. All right.
Would you like me to read the amendment, the proposed amendment?
Yeah, that would be great.
But you've heard this. It came to our attention that there was no mechanism that was codified in the bylaws or in the authorizing legislation for the appointment of a member to the MTA board by each of the councils. The MNRCC is clearly not in that position of needing to do that right now, and hopefully not for a very, very long time. But Long Island Railroad Commuter Council is in that position of needing to do so. So we developed some language that says the Metro North Railroad Commuter Council will recommend to the governor's office a candidate for the council's non-voting seat on the MTA board. In the event of a vacancy, the council shall nominate a candidate at a regular meeting of the MNRCC and the vote taken at the next regular meeting. So what we're being asked to do today, in order to move a bylaw forward, a bylaw revision forward, there needs to be a reading and a nomination or an agreement of moving the proposed change forward, and a vote would be taken at the next meeting of the MNRCC.
It looks good to me, Lisa.
Okay.
if you are all in agreement, we can move that forward to
Okay,
a
so I'll make,
vote at the next meeting.
okay, so, I like it. I approve it. I nominate, I move it, whatever has to be done, whatever the correct language is, I do it. Need a second? Or we don't do that yet?
Yeah, we just need, yes, we need there to be
Yeah.
approval of moving it forward.
Okay,
Rich approved.
all right.
I'm
So,
good.
all right, so myself, Warren, how about Francis? Did we hear from Francina?
I haven't heard from Francina.
I guess this is just,
Well, we have now the needed number of votes.
okay, all right, okay,
So now we will put this on the agenda.
October.
Unless, do you want to have a meeting in August? I know that usually don't,
No.
but. No, okay.
Well, would it help get it, this doesn't have to be approved by the PCAC, it's just the
No.
council.
Correct. It's just by the
No,
council, and
no.
there's no urgency. There's
Okay.
urgency for there was more urgency for the LARCC,
Okay,
who's moved a candidate forward for the MTA board seat finally.
all right. So we can take this up October 15th.
Okay, terrific.
All right. Does everybody know about the Mark Epstein, that he passed away last month? Or was it May or June?
It was in June 11th.
Yes, so yeah, it was just suddenly he had a heart attack. He was 55. I got to speak at the last board meeting about him. And we had a moment of silence, but I did get to mention it. All right. Is there any other, I kind of gave my board report there that the MTA is in really serious financial trouble.
Yeah. Randy,
okay.
that was outlined in the Journal News.
Yes, yes. All right. Do we have any old business to talk about? All right, new business. Well, I mentioned the financial crisis. Do you have anything else? Does the staff want in anything, Bradley or Sheila? I see you here. I didn't want to ignore you. Thank you for being here.
I do want to say, so we're joined today by Shaul Picker, who is our intern, who's working on a project under Bradley's leadership and with Ellen. So we're looking forward to getting an update among our staff on Monday of the work that he's doing. We also want to report that Deborah Morrison is retiring effective July 30th. So we will be down an administrative assistant, and appreciate your indulgence as that happens, as we try to plug the holes that have been left. I did reach out to the governor's office for an update on the appointments. The primary person who manages them is on maternity leave. Everybody else is scrambling, so I was told to check back in a month.
Randy, can I bring up just as far as the board meeting is there was a comment that I thought was cogent in relation to the fiscal crisis, which was, Bob Lynn brought it up, that at the stage we're at, which Pat described it as a tsunami, Bob brought up that the board having insight into the plan A, B, C of what they're doing at this point, to have no idea, okay, if you get full funding, what happens? If you get half funding, what happens if you get no funding? Like, and insight into the, what they're doing there. That's still a massive black box. They listed in that box 7 items to pull from: fare increases, service cuts, those things. But that it is still such a black box at this point in the game is tough. I think on the MTA side, it's hard because revealing those things, you get into union issues. But I thought it was a point well made.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right.
So it would be helpful to that end if everybody could call their elected officials, their members of Congress, and let them know how important funding for the MTA is, funding through the HEROES Act. You know, the HEROES includes not just direct funding to the agency, it includes hazard pay for frontline workers, of which MTA workers qualify. And it also includes funding for state and local governments, which support the MTA as well. Both New York City and New York State have committed $3 billion to the capital program, but that can't happen if they don't have that money. So any calls you can make to your senators, those of you who ride west of Hudson, also reaching out to the New Jersey senators.
Oh, they're on board. I mean, they have New Jersey.
They're on board, but the more they hear about it, and also they're members of Congress, the more they can bring it to the floor, and it's part of their conversations. Len Resto, who I've been in contact with, has drafted an op-ed about the importance of funding that he's sending to Star Ledger, and has also reached out to the electeds. Mikey Sherrill is somebody who's big working on this, on the recovery aspect. But you know, the more they hear from their constituents, the more ammunition they have, and that's a bipartisan effort
Mm-hmm.
For the members of Congress.
Yeah, I think that this is such not a slam dunk when you've got the difference between a 1 trillion and a 3+ trillion package. And like Lisa said, the more times they're pushed, every time they're able to mention it on the floor, that gains momentum. And so that's why even the people on board, they may be on board in their head, but what you want is it coming out their mouth.
Right. And we've been signing on to a number of letters in support with other organizations, nationally and locally.
The thing I did happen to see just before you called me is that the Senate is calling it the CARES 2 Act.
Yeah.
So and it's not the HEROES Act. So I think it's going to be. I don't know what it's going to take to get the House approved version, which I think is more favorable to the things that we would like to have. We'll have to see.
It'll probably after the Senate, there will probably go into conference with the House after the Senate makes their proposal. But there was a press conference last week or 2 weeks ago that the MTA, where the MTA corralled a number of transit agencies from states both red and blue to talk about the importance of the funding and to the economy, and that's really where it's going to make an impact.
Lisa, also, did you see this letter that was written by many of the agencies and sent to Mitch McConnell and Chuck Schumer?
Yes.
Dated July 14th?
Yes. And it was around that letter that the agencies pulled together the press conference.
Okay.
And that letter, and Len Resto also made sure to forward that letter to the electeds with whom he has a friendly relationship. But that's looking at the totality of the importance.
It would be very helpful to know if everybody that's on this call has a list of their own elected officials, because it'll go into committee. It's not bad to reach out to Nancy Pelosi's office also with some of the points that Bradley's put together, some great slides that we'll get out to you that are high points that make the case. But understanding if everybody has their own list of their own elected officials, if we can help with getting you that information.
Are you talking about like
then,
sending a form letter, just to send a form letter to which we can then put into an email and send out?
could do something,
That would
yeah.
be great.
We'll send that out. We have those.
Okay.
And then if you can get back to us with each person that you've contacted, or you've done that through your email, that we can categorize, tally how big the effort out of our organization is,
Yep.
that would be
Good point,
great.
Ellen. Yep, excellent points. So we'll send you, there are 4 or 5 letters that are circulating now. We'll send one that is the most relevant. Well, they're all relevant, but that captures all of the points.
Okay. That would be great. Okay.
Terrific.
Thank you, Ellen.
Sure.
All right. So, yes, I think we're up to the last item, the hackathon thing.
Yes.
All right. So there were close to 42, I think it was. Let me see here. There were 36 teams that signed up, and it got whittled and a number of them. A number of them were combined. So we have a lot of them that are two teams combined, like 2 and 9, and then 4, 5, and 17, and so on. So it's down to 15. And so all of the things were submitted, and in the process of reviewing them, as the others are, we have to make our decision this afternoon. We were asked to, they gave us a sample spreadsheet, which would have and you're supposed to grade between 1 and 5 in 3 categories: business value, tech innovation, and business implementation.
So Randy, I just want to stop. So this is the development of an app that's going to show crowding and ridership on the trains, similar to the MyLIRR app.
Yeah. Well, why they couldn't just do the same thing, I don't know.
But is the railroad willing to invest in the sensors and the technology that is also needed?
Unknown. I don't know, but they are supporting it. I mean, they had daily. We were meeting. The teams were meeting on their own schedule, and I think in the afternoons. And then every day last week at about 12:30, we had a talk by Metro North executives, Kathy Rinaldi and John Kesich. I got to see those two. Unfortunately, the board briefing conflicted with the one with Dave Kubitschek, and I'm still trying. We were told that these were all being recorded and available online someplace, but no one has been able to tell me where I could see that one by Dave Kubitschek. But some of the there were some interesting things there. I mean, putting on my consultant hat, when I was working for Sistra, I really felt I should get into the project we were working on, and some of the people, the teams, they maybe because of the pandemic or they just didn't have the knowledge, but they were using some Long Island Railroad car numbers and equipment instead of looking at something on Metro North. There was even one of them showed a car number 7704. It was a drawing of one, but it was a multi-level car from NJ Transit. So that offended me, it really did. So anyway, I have to go and get into this thing and assign point values, because today is the decision. You have to meet for that. But otherwise, there isn't anything else to say about it. So let me go around.
What's the timeline for getting the finalists?
Oh, it's today. Today is decision.
Oh, it's today.
Yeah, and then they'll announce the winners tomorrow. So that's it this afternoon. So let me, Francis, I haven't heard from you, so I want to give you an opportunity. Is there anything that you wanted to say? Because I see you're muted. Francis?
Doesn't she have to hit #6?
Yes.
Yeah, you have to hit #6, Francis.
Because I think it would be really interesting to hear from Francis one way or another, because he's been he's the elected official perspective, and to hear what his neck of the woods, if he's hearing anything about the HEROES Act and the next stages, if he's involved in anything. It would be great to hear from you, Francis.
I guess not.
You may be talking away, but you're muted.
Yeah, #6. All right, Rich. you have anything you want to add?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm here. Rich is here.
All right, I sent you the schedule and the information about what service is running up. Why, there's Francis. Go ahead, Francis. You have anything like?
I was hitting pound six. Pound six is star six.
Oh, star 6.
Oh, all
Sorry
right.
about that.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I mean, we have a tough road ahead of us here, but I'm not hearing a ton. You know that we lost an ally in David Buchwald, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, that's really about the only big news that I would have.
Yeah, he was defeated in his
Yeah.
quest for the assembly seat of the soon-to-be vacated Anita Lowy.
Yeah, and he left his assembly seat to run for it. So yeah, I think he was pretty confident he was going to win it, and it wasn't even close.
No. No,
Well,
it wasn't.
Jeez.
Randy, something like that happened in Rockland County. David Paolucci lost in the primary to Mondale Jones. We don't even know what his outlook is for anything.
Isn't
Yeah, it was
one
the
of
same thing.
He's on the progressive party side, is he not?
Yeah.
I think he is. Yeah.
Yeah, as is the guy who beat Buchwald.
Right.
Right.
Lowy retired after Jones announced, but she actually didn't actually run for the seat for this fall.
Right.
Yeah. The only thing I was going to say, the only upside to any of that just happened in this past election is that maybe we can go back to Abenaki and Steve Otis's, who represent constituents in Westchester, and really bang on them hard to start to deliver for us, because they need to start getting some brownie points again with their constituents.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right? So if we can show them how to do that.
Yeah.
We put pressure on them now because they're feeling very vulnerable.
All right. So after the election, we'll start going after these new Congress people, and who's gonna replace David Buchwald in the Assembly, Francis?
It's probably going to be the Bedford supervisor, but what I was going to suggest is, we should probably reach out to Otis's office and Abenati's office, and we should probably have them come in for sit-downs with us and ask them what they're going to do. Really put their feet to the fire, because they are very vulnerable right now and feeling it. And now's the time to say, hey, you want to help? This is the chance to do it.
Yeah.
And we'll give you all the kudos for it and the visibility, and we need help at the appointments office, and we need help in getting funding, and we will get ears now, which we never got before.
All right. I grew up with Steve, so
He's a great guy. I was hoping he would win. He is the best.
Yeah.
Steve
But it's
who?
just enough this spot he's in.
Otis.
I haven't even heard of him. All right. Well,
That's terrific.
Francis,
Francis, that's a great point. I just wanted to say one thing. That one of the efforts that we're involved in also is having New York State Senate and the New York State Assembly do their own sign-on letters that will be going to the members of Congress for New York. We've spearheaded that with Senator Comrie, and it's Bobby Carroll was working on that in the Assembly. So they have 20 people who've signed on now, but getting them engaged in the other activities and problems that we're having would be terrific.
Yeah, that's great. That's great.
all right. So Francis, just send your convenience to the office, and maybe we could have would it be an official meeting if we could schedule something with them to have a Zoom where we could have them all at one time? Is that what you're thinking about?
I was thinking each one separately.
Yeah.
Okay.
one at a time.
All right, that works. Okay. All right, so if you have the information to send to the office, and then we could see what you can reach out to them and schedule something. mean,
Yep.
the fact that we are, have the Zoom, available to us, you could be anywhere, to do it.
And that was Steve Otis, and who was the other name, Francis, that you suggested?
Tom Avenatti.
Abernathy. Warren and I have met him a number of times. He's,
Yeah, he has worked with Senator Carlucci.
yeah, he's a
but,
friend of Kobe's.
Right.
And we've been at press events with them.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Does anybody else have anything? All right. I thank the staff for being there. Sheila,
Thank you.
why are you being so shy? So we can at least look at your face. So we won't forget what you look like. It's been too long since we've all been together. Hint, hint, no? Okay. Anyway, anything, if there's nothing else, I make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
All right, all in favor?
In favor? Aye.
Okay.
Aye.
So we have, our next meeting, as I said, is October the 15th, but the PCAC is September the 10th.
Yes.
So I'm guessing it's going to be again on Zoom.
Yes.
So,
I would anticipate that all of our meetings through the end of the year will be Zoomy.
right. Okay, so hope to see you
Agreed.
all on Zoom then. All right, thanks everyone. Enjoy the rest of the summer and have a safe, keep safe.
Thanks
Thank
all.
you.
Be well.
You too.
Okay,
Be well.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
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 All right, so we're offline now.
Yes.
We're off the recording, okay. All right.
Okay, great. Thanks.
Thanks.
All right, thank you very much. I'll
Thank you.
follow up when I get it.
Okay, thank you. Bye.